Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the Hut NHL moment, master set players. There's 8 of them, 7 of them are 94 overall, then one of them is 96 overall, which is the Connor McDavid, the featured card, and we went over this in the last video. Also, on top of giving an in-depth true review of the 94s and the 196, these cards can be upgraded by a +1 for the 94s and 95 cards. The upgrade takes 3 gold collectibles as well as 2 gold base cards, depending on whether they played with the player or they could have been part of the moment that this player's card is based off of. For some of the cards, it's worth it. It really depends on your team and the synergies that you need. If you don't need that extra team synergy by upgrading 94 to 95, I'm not 100% sure if it's worth it. On top of that upgrade, you will get a +1 in all attributes and half a point in speed and acceleration. But I think based off of that, it actually bumps up the speed and acceleration 1 point as well. Now that we gave that overview about what these cards are, let's get into it. Mathew Barzal. So as we explained in the overview of this event, is all of these cards are based off of a moment that happened within their career. In Mathew Barzal's case, this is a moment based off of him scoring the overtime winner in Game 3 of the playoffs, first round against the Washington Capitals. As for Barzal, he's 6 foot tall, 187 pounds, right-handed shooting. He has 1 point for Spark, 1 point for Light the Lamp, and 1 point for Gladiator. So if you would upgrade him to the 95 overall, he would get 2 points in Spark and 2 points in Light the Lamp. Essentially, that's what I was talking about, where you get a +1 on the synergies. You get it on their team synergy as well as their first player synergy. Therefore, it's really up to you whether you think it's worth that upgrade. I also do not know if they're going to take the 95s out. They didn't do it for the style icons. Maybe they won't do it for the NHL moments either. As long as you get a 94, you can probably upgrade to a 95 at a different point in time, not necessarily before this event ends. I hope that's the same, but we'll find out, I guess, in 2 weeks. So moving back to Mathew Barzal here, going over his synergies, the Spark, obviously, big thing is acceleration, body checking. The Light the Lamp is going to be balanced, wrist shot accuracy, offense awareness, hand-eye. Gladiator is going to be slap shot power, body checking, strength, and defensive awareness. Spark is one of the better team synergies, and I think that's very important that everyone knows that, especially if you're a newer player. Looking at this card with no synergies activated, he has 94 acceleration, 98 agility, 92 balance, 96 endurance with 94 speed. So his skating is phenomenal, very fast, has good agility, good acceleration. The 6 foot tall, 187 pounds build is very good for his acceleration, agility, and speed ratings. He's not going to be too fast. He's not going to be like uncontrollable, I don't think, because he has enough weight on him. And I don't think he's going to be like flying all over the place either, because he is built pretty solidly. He's not like one of those little guys. With that being said, he can get up to 98 acceleration and 97 speed if you have Spark and Distributor activated on your team. Looking at his shooting, he has 96 slap shot accuracy, 95 slap shot power, 97 wrist shot accuracy, 95 wrist shot power. So a great shot. His hands are maxed at 99 across the board, except for 98 hand-eye. So phenomenal hands. He's going to be able to do dirty things with the puck. On defense, he has 88 body checking, 92 strength. His defensive awareness is 93. Shot blocking is 85. Stick checking is 93. Discipline's 93 with 82 faceoffs. He is labeled as a center. You're going to probably have to play him on the wing at this point in the game. 82 faceoffs just really isn't cutting it. So that's the biggest downside to this Barzal, in my opinion, is he can't play center. He can only play on the wings. The rest of this card is absolutely bonkers. He has a very good team synergy. Light the Lamp is an average to above average player synergy. Gladiator's not top tier for forwards, but it's definitely a good defenseman synergy. So if you do get it, maybe it activates for 2 defensemen or something like that, or 3 defensemen to help out this Barzal a little bit. But that's not really a huge selling point for me. I am going to give this Barzal 5 chewies because the card itself is absolutely crazy. The 94 speed, 94 acceleration on top of the rest of the attributes makes this card worth picking up. He's going to be very expensive. I don't think there's any on the market right now, but when he was up on the market last night, he was about 850,000 coins minimum, and then there was some up for over $1 million. There's only 4 of them, so I think he's going to be a rarity, but I do really actually like this card. I think he could be one of the better right-handed forwards in the game. Definitely an endgame card. He can pretty much get maxed in everything if you have the right synergies activated. Anthony Mantha. Mantha's moment is based off of the home opener in 2019, so last season, that he had 4 goals in a rally comeback against the Dallas Stars. He's 6'5", 234 pounds, left-handed shooting. He has 1 point for distributor, 1 point for light the lamp, and 1 point for passing playmaker. What I will say is this Mantha at 6'5" is a big-time power forward, and he's one of the fastest skating power forwards we've gotten in the game so far. The distributor is obviously the best team synergy. I've talked about that more than once. Light the lamp, we've already mentioned that. The passing playmaker is kind of a below average synergy, in my opinion. There's not a lot of people with passing playmaker. Now, the PK Subban from the Style Icons does have passing playmaker, but not too many people have it. It gives you the slap shot accuracy, passing, and stick checking. Obviously, distributor is going to give you that +3 speed that we always talk about. Looking at his attributes, he has 89 acceleration, 96 agility, 97 balance, 96 endurance, 89 speed. The 96 endurance for a big man like Mantha is absolutely vital because it seems like the bigger players use their energy a lot more than smaller players. I know that Mario Lemieux has low endurance compared to some other star players as it is, but I also think it's the fact that Lemieux is 6'4" and like 230 pounds, that his stamina gets worn down even with the lower endurance. So this 96 endurance I think is actually huge for Mantha. The fact he has the 89 speed and 89 acceleration so he can't get up to 92 speed and 93 acceleration is huge for a 6'5" player. Looking at his shooting, he has a max slap shot and wrist shot power at 99, 97 wrist shot accuracy, 95 slap shot accuracy. So those are very good numbers for a big boy. You're talking about somebody that's going to really hit the puck hard on top of his very whippy shot because of his height. I think he's going to just bury goals in the back of the net, especially with how accurate his shot is. His hands are phenomenal too for a power forward at 96 across the board with 95 deking. His defense is 93 body checking, 97 strength, so he's going to be very hard on the puck. He's going to hit people at 93. Checking categories will be 93 defensive awareness, 88 shot blocking, 94 stick checking, 83 discipline, 75 faceoffs. Now he is a winger. He's going to have to stay on the wing. I mean, I didn't expect his faceoffs to be good. The discipline, 83 is a little bit of a concern, but overall, I really do like this Mantha. Big body, has very good attributes. He might be a little bit slower than what people want, but for a power forward, and you're comparing to somebody that like Markstrom that has a 94 card as well. He's faster than that Markstrom, or at least the same speed, but a few inches bigger with great synergies. I'm going to give this Anthony Mantha 5 chewies. I think he's a phenomenal card. I'm not sure if he's better than Barzal or not. You're going to have to watch the end of the video to find out my opinion on that, but this is also another guy that has 5 chewies. Great card. I think he's going to fit into many lineups. Also, just so you guys know, the 95 overall version of him will have 2 distributor and 2 light the lamp. Barclay Goodrow. Barclay Goodrow's moment is based off of scoring the Game 7 OT winner against the Vegas Golden Knights of Marc-Andre Fleury in the 2019 playoffs in the first round, knocking off the defending Western Conference champions. He's 6'2", 203 pounds, left-handed shooting. He has 1 point for Spark, 1 point for Speedster, and 1 point for Magician. The Spark, as we've already mentioned, is the acceleration, body checking, strength. The Speedster is going to be speed, wrist shot power. Magician actually gives you agility, deking, and puck control. Looking at this card with no synergies, you have 87 acceleration, 95 agility, 99 balance, 94 endurance with 87 speed. His shot is 92 slap shot accuracy, 93 wrist shot accuracy, 97 slap shot power, 96 wrist shot power. His hands are 92 across the board except for 94 offensive awareness. Body checking is 98, strength is 99. His defensive awareness is 93, 93 shot blocking with 97 stick checking, 92 faceoffs, and 91 discipline. So he is a center that has very good faceoffs at 92. So he can play all 3-4 positions, obviously, if you don't want to put him at center. The Speedster really helps him get to 91 speed, which means he can get up to 94 speed with Speedster and Distributor. He can get up to 91 acceleration. My concern is that his hands and shooting are not as good as like a Mantha's, and you have to almost directly compare him to Mantha. Even though that Goodrow can play center, the comparison has to be almost directly to Mantha because they're both power forwards, right? You're getting the same type of player out of them. Now, if you really do need a center, Goodrow could even be all the way up to your first-line center, but I do think there's better options at center at this point in the game than this Goodrow that I would personally go after, but I think he's a very good card for what you're getting. So comparing to the other options at the 94 overall, I'm going to give this Goodrow 4.5 chewies. I think he's a very good card, but I do think there's just maybe better options that I'd invest in for the 94 overalls if I'm going to go after one of them. I do think he's one of the cheaper options, and for his price point, he might be a better option than some of the other guys. But I'm going to stick with the 4.5 chewies. I think he's a very good card. I just don't think he's up to the same snuff that some of the other guys are. Cam Fowler. So the rarity of someone scoring a hat trick as a defenseman is obviously very rare. Also, the rarity of it happening in overtime is very rare. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that they have the date for this moment completely wrong. It definitely did not happen in February 27, 2020. The only video evidence I can find of this actually happened back in 2018 where Cam Fowler scored all 3 goals in a game against the Columbus Blue Jackets, as well as the OT winner. And this picture is actually probably from his second goal, where he had one of the nastiest snipes I've ever seen in my life on a wrist shot that just went bar down in the corner to tie the game up. And then he won the game in OT 3-on-3 with a wrist shot / half slap shot going down to one knee at a pretty gnarly angle. Just a beautiful one-time goal. I'm going to assume that that is the moment that this is based off of, and that it just didn't happen 2/27/2020. As for Cam Fowler, he's 6'1", 207 pounds, left-handed shooting. He obviously plays defense, as I've already mentioned. He has 1 point for balance, 1 point for howitzer, 1 point for shutdown. Now, I will mention that this is probably one of the cards that it would be beneficial to get the 95 overall Cam Fowler, because he does get 2 howitzer, and howitzer requires 6 players, which makes it a lot easier. There's not too many defensemen that have 2 points for howitzer, so I think that would be very big, other than some upgraded guys like a Chris Chelios. Looking at Fowler's skating, he has 90 acceleration, 96 agility, 96 balance with 99 endurance, 91 speed. The endurance of 99 is huge. That means you'll be able to skate a lot, and that's really what you want in your defenseman. He's very fast. He can get up to 94 speed with just distributor. With howitzer, he can get up to 97 speed. His acceleration can get to 94 with spark. Looking at his shooting, he has 90 slap shot accuracy, 97 slap shot power, 91 wrist shot accuracy, and 96 wrist shot power. His hands are 93 deking, 96 offensive awareness, 91 hand-eye, 97 passing, and 97 puck control. So pretty good hands. He's going to definitely be a good breakout man, good puck control. I didn't really talk about the shot too much. I probably should have brought this up. It's not the most accurate slap shot or wrist shot, but it is pretty hard for Cam Fowler here. He has 90 body checking, 95 strength, so those are good numbers. His defensive awareness 95, shot blocking is 93, 96 to checking, and 98 discipline. So I actually really do like the checking and defensive category as well. Wish his body checking would be a little bit higher, but he's more of an offensive defenseman, even though they have him labeled as a two-way forward. He's not a big body checker. He's more of a hard on the puck shadow type of defenseman that can score goals, as evidenced by the hat trick that he had. Overall, I really like this Fowler. I think he has a very good player synergy and then an above average team synergy. Definitely what should be your 3rd or 4th team synergy. In my opinion, preferably your 3rd, because it does help it with endurance, and endurance is a big problem in some of the high-end cards at this point, as well as it actually gives you wrist shot power, puck control, deking, and defensive awareness. So I do think it's actually a pretty good synergy. I think it's very underrated by some. I'm going to give this Cam Fowler 5 chewies. I think he's a big-time defenseman. I think he's the best defenseman you can get out of these master set players, and I really do like the way this card looks. Bobby Ryan. Boys, I think we instantly found out what was wrong with the Cam Fowler moment. Bobby Ryan's hat trick was on 2/27/2020 against the Vancouver Canucks. So that just makes sense. They unfortunately put Bobby Ryan's 8 on that Cam Fowler card, so we solved that mystery right off the bat. Also, just so you guys know, I'll mention it at the end of the video as well, but I want to bring it up, is I'm going to put all of the highlight, at least YouTube clip videos of it, so you guys can watch any of these highlights in the first comment that'll be pinned, just so you guys know if you guys want to watch some of these cards in action, or at least what the card is based off of. As for the Bobby Ryan, he's 6'2", 208 pounds, right-handed shooting. He is a sniper. I think he's more of a power forward, in my opinion, the way his skating is. You're looking at a 1 point for Swarm, 1 point for Light the Lamp, 1 point for Wingman. The Swarm, like I said, it should be your 3rd synergy. It can't be your 2nd synergy if maybe you just can't get Spark activated. But at this point in time, it probably should be your 3rd synergy, or at least Spark should be your 3rd synergy at the minimum. I think that Distributor, Swarm, and Spark together are pretty filthy. Work in balance, and you have yourself 4 synergies that are nasty. Light the Lamp, average to above average synergy. The Wingman is pretty good, but there's not a lot of good cards that have Wingman. There are some primetime cards and stuff like that, but then they don't have team synergies involved. And at this point, you should really be looking for cards with team synergies. But it does give you +3 acceleration, wrist shot accuracy, and passing. Looking at Bobby Ryan's attributes, is he has 90 acceleration, 96 agility, 98 balance, 96 endurance, and 90 speed. So not the fastest card. The Wingman will actually allow you to get the 97 acceleration with Spark. Then he has 93 speed at the max with Distributor. His shooting is 92 slap shot accuracy, 97 slap shot power, 93 wrist shot accuracy, 96 wrist shot power. So his shot's pretty good, but it's not great. You have to compare him to some of the other guys that have to play wing on this series. I don't think it's the best shot. His hands are 94 for hand-eye passing and puck control, 93 offensive awareness, 95 deking. On top of that, looking at his defense, he has 93 body checking, 98 strength, 93 aggression. So those are pretty good numbers. His checking category is 93 defensive awareness, 90 shot blocking, 98 stick checking with 95 discipline, 75 faceoffs. He's a winger. He's going to have to stay on the wing somewhere. I will say that this Bobby Ryan's attributes are pretty good, but I do think some other guys are a little bit better. I'm actually going to give this Bobby Ryan 4 Chewies because I think that the Swarm is great, but I do think some other guys have Spark and Distributor, which are just better team synergies, as well as almost all of them have Light the Lamp, so you have to cancel that off. And then for the Wingman, you're looking at it, the Wingman doesn't have a lot of great players with it. A lot of the players that do have it that are good players that fit into teams is maybe you can be that extra guy that gives you that Wingman to get 4 out of 4 to maybe pick up somebody that's like Patrick Kane's or the Keith Yandles that have Wingman to give them that acceleration boost, but those type of cards don't have team synergies. So I think Wingman's a good synergy. I just don't value it as much as maybe the synergy is attribute-wise should be based because of the players that have it. Either way, the Ryan's going to get the 4 Chewies. I don't think he's anywhere near the best card out of these 7 cards, but I do love Bobby Ryan. It's a card that if I can get him for the right price, I might pick him up and put him on my team for a couple days just to play with him because I always have liked Bobby Ryan and the way he's played. Obviously, he's had some ups and downs in his career, but I actually do really like him as a player. Teppo Numminen. For Numminen's moment, I'm going to assume it's whenever he played on the alumni roster for the Winnipeg Jets against Edmonton Oilers alumni. And the reason I'm going to say that is because I think he had like heart surgery or some sort of health condition where they just really thought he wasn't supposed to play. And that's really like his moment, the fact that he could go and play hockey again. I don't think that's why he retired or anything from hockey in general. I just think that he had like a heart condition. If I'm not mistaken, I couldn't really find a lot of information about this. I just know that this was the day that the Heritage Classic was played, and he was on the alumni roster, and it says start in the first period. So I'm assuming that's what it's based off of. As for Numminen's career, he's not in the Hockey Hall of Fame, but he is part of the Arizona Coyotes Ring of Honor, which is the Winnipeg Jets organization that moved down there to Arizona. And if you are an Arizona Coyote, you cannot wear the number 27 as his number is retired. I do not know if the current Winnipeg Jets honor him or not. I don't think that they do. I don't think he's like in the Ring of Honor or anything, but the Arizona Coyotes do. Just some fun facts for you guys, but I do think that the moment itself is based off of him being on the alumni roster for the Heritage Classic in 2016. As for Numminen, he's 6'2", 198 pounds, right-handed shooting. He's obviously a defenseman. He has 1 point for distributor, 1 point for gladiator, 1 point for wingman. He has 87 skating for his acceleration, 92 agility, 97 balance, 95 endurance, 87 speed. So he can get maxed out here at 90 speed, and then he can get up to 94 acceleration with the wingman and spark. His shot is 94 for slap shot, wrist shot accuracy, 99 slap shot power, so max slap shot power, 98 wrist shot power. His hands are 96 puck control, 96 passing, 89 hand-eye, 88 DQ with 96 offensive awareness. The body checking is 95 with 96 strength. He has 99 defensive awareness, 97 shot blocking, 97 stick checking with 93 discipline. So pretty good defensively. His shot's hard. I do think he's a little bit slower skater. His hands aren't that great. I'm going to give this Numminen 4 stars. I think he's probably the worst card out of the bunch, which is unfortunate, but it seems to be that a lot of these guys that are alumni, skating doesn't hold up and some of their attributes don't. It is nice that he has distributor, but I wouldn't go out of my way to make him just because he has distributor or to go out and get this card. Now, if you do get him for a very low price, maybe a month or two from now, he might actually be the best value or the best budget version of these cards. But as for these NHL moments right now and the prices everybody is, I would avoid Numminen. Jacob Markstrom. The moment for Markstrom is based off of his 49 save shutout against the Chicago Blackhawks, who's absolutely on fire that night. He's 6'6", 196 pounds, wears his trapper on his left hand. He has 1 point for balance, 1 point for distributor, and 1 point for swarm. So he has actually very good unique synergies. He will get 2 points on balance and 2 points on distributor if you upgrade him to the 95 version, which is actually huge, as well as 1 point for swarm. So he's definitely a goaltender for synergies that I would look into personally, because getting that 2 balance and 2 distributor off a goaltender that's 6'6", I think he's going to be a high-priced item. As well as for his glove and stick high, he's 96. His glove low and stick low is 98. His speed's 92. His vision's 98. His agility is 92. His positioning's 98. 5-hole's 92. Aggression is a 77 with 92 rebound control and shot recovery. Honestly, I think this Markstrom might be the best goaltender in the game, on top of the fact that he's 6'6". This is absolutely huge. I think he's going to be the meta goalie in the game. Every top-end team is going to have this Markstrom in net. I don't think there's any argument here with his synergies as well as his attributes. He's 5 Chewies. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think there's others that agree with me that he's probably the best goaltender in the game right now. He trumps Ben Bishop because there's no high-end Ben Bishop card. I'm sure they'll come out with one in like a month to trump this Markstrom or somebody else that is taller. But right now, Markstrom takes the cake for the ideal meta goaltender in this game. Connor McDavid. McDavid's moment is based off of a spectacular goal that he scored January 6, 2020. Morgan Riley came off of a line change. He's already back in the defensive zone. McDavid comes down with a little bit of speed. He turns Morgan Riley inside out, and as you can see in the picture, Morgan Riley's chasing him. Then he goes a little bit forehand, backhand on Frederik Andersen and slips in the goal, pretty much short side on Frederik Andersen, and then also filthy move. Overall was a spectacular goal and kind of shows the torch of being the face of the NHL, or the hands down best player of the NHL, at least based off of commentators, whether you agree or disagree. I think we can say that Sidney Crosby's been the face of the NHL for numerous years. It's kind of been passed off to Connor McDavid now. He is the best player in the NHL, and I don't think there's any argument coming from anybody about that. He's definitely the most talented. There's other guys that are up there with him, but he's like at the top of the pyramid. He's 6'1", 193 pounds, left-handed shooting. He has 2 points for Heart and Soul, 2 points for Howitzer, 1 point for Thief. Now, I will say this McDavid is the only card that is absolutely worth going from 96 to 97. That's because he gets +3 on all of his synergy. So he'll be +3 Heart and Soul, +3 Howitzer, and +3 Thief. He can pretty much make Thief by himself. But even with Thief, this Connor McDavid still has to play in the wings, and that's one of the biggest downsides of this card. Looking at his skating, he has 97 acceleration, 99 agility, 92 balance with 96 endurance, 97 speed. So one of the best skaters. He's one of the best skaters in the NHL. He's 100% an endgame card. If you get this version of Connor McDavid, if a 99 comes out, you really don't need to get it unless you just want to be petty and have a 99 overall version of McDavid. Looking at his shooting, he has 98 slap shot accuracy, 95 slap shot power, 99 wrist shot accuracy, 95 wrist shot power, 99 across the board for hands, 89 body checking, 91 strength. Then for the checking, he has 98 defense awareness, 88 shot blocking, 95 stick checking, 80 faceoffs, and 92 discipline. Very good card. Obviously, he's a 96 overall. My thing about this card is his Heart and Soul is not a good team synergy. Like, not even worth picking up at all. And then you have Howitzer is for 2 points. Heart and Soul's balance, endurance, shot blocking, and faceoffs. So yeah, with the Thief and the Heart and Soul, you can get up to 89 faceoffs, and even then, that's still not sufficient. So it's one of those things where McDavid cannot play center. He has to play in the wings. He's outrageously expensive. Is he a great card? Yes. If he has any other synergy than Heart and Soul, he's probably hands down 5 Chewies, especially with the Howitzer and the Thief, and you can add +1 to him and get 3 of these for each of the synergies. But Heart and Soul's so bad. I mean, we just went over it. The balance, endurance, shot blocking, faceoffs. I'm going to give this Connor McDavid for the price you got to pay and what he should have been, 4 Chewies. And maybe I'm being a little bit of a hater, and you guys can say that in the comments down below, but let me know what you think about this Connor McDavid. I was super excited when I saw the event. I'm like, man, it's a really cool idea, NHL moments. I liked a lot of the players when you pop on that screen and you see, oh, these are the 8 guys. Even Numminen, who isn't like my most favorite player, he's still one of those guys that was kind of grindy, played in the league for like 15 plus years, and just one of those guys that was a hard worker. Like, he's deserving of a good card in the game, and he has kind of a fan following, especially being a Finnish-born player. But then you bring me this Connor McDavid with Heart and Soul as the main guy, and it was disappointing. That's why he's getting the 4 Chewies. On top of, I think there's going to be so many better 96 overall options than this Connor McDavid in a month here or so that I don't think he's worth the investment, to be honest with you. I mean, 3 Howitzer is cool, but now with Lemieux's upgrade, you're getting at least 2 Howitzer off of him. There's some other guys like that you should have in your lineup that already have Howitzer anyways that are good players as well. You can get some Howitzer with the Austin Matthews 95. I would take that Matthews 95 over this Connor McDavid 96 just based on synergies. That's just my personal opinion. I think some of the style icons are better than this Connor McDavid. That's going to wrap up the true reviews of these 8 players. I think the reviews were very fair, very in-depth. We went over each one of their moments as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to look at the very first comment that will have each of these moments. You can click on it if you want to watch it. Obviously, if you leave to go watch it, come back to the video to watch the rest of the Chewy review. That way you kind of know what are the best cards. I will say that Matthew Barzal and Mantha are probably the 2 best if I had my honest opinion on it. I will say Cam Fowler is definitely the best defenseman. I do really like the card. I just think he's a notch below the Barzal and Mantha. Barzal's probably the best. That skating that he has, very comparable to the 96 McDavid, especially you get some synergies. Really liking that Barzal. He's going to be very hard to find on the market. I do think Bobby Ryan and Numminen, as well as McDavid, are going to be overpriced for what you're getting out of them. The Goodrow could be a very good center. However, I do think that if you want a power forward, a bigger body, that Mantha is a better option, unless you need a center. Markstrom, best goaltender. I think we went over that already. I really do think at 6'6" with his attributes, his synergies, especially if we get the 95 version. Holy moly, he's going to be hard to score on, I think. And I'm not looking forward to facing him in the higher Division 1, Division 2 matchups that I got to play or in Hut Champions. So I think that's the guy. If you really need a goaltender and you're like, I'm ready to spend all of the coins on a goaltender, Markstrom's probably that guy. I hope this review helped you guys out. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the review. Maybe you agree, disagree with some of the ratings or some of the players. Maybe you guys think this Connor McDavid is filthy and I'm just being very hard on him. I also think it's very funny that they messed up the moment for Cam Fowler and gave the wrong date. We found that out. It is what it is, but I'll put the real moment down in the comments as already mentioned. As always, I appreciate all of your guys' support. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with any of your friends that play NHL 21. You guys have a great day and be safe.